All right, man. What the hell got into Al Horford? I mean, I've always loved the guy, but his shooting in this game, I mean, bro, like 5 for 7 from three, however many mid rangers he had. But it's also just how quick he is to go up with it. Like for so long, I mean, his whole career, he's been a pass first guy, which is great. Again, always loved him as a player, but man, that one, I think it was like transition or super early off of a basket or whatever, where he just took it with like a full shot clock because he had a little bit of space on the elbow. Like that is not a normal thing for Al Horford. Of course, taking Giannis off the dribble and dunking on him, like what the hell is that? There's other things to talk about here, including the fact that I think they figured out at some point in this game that Horford pick and pops were an effective way to go at the drop coverage. But still, like you would never expect this out of the guy. So number one, I mean they acquired him in the Kemba move. I think more so as a money move and also as a maybe Al can give us like a good 25 minutes a night or whatever. So yeah, that was nuts. To talk about the other things with the Celtics offense, where they scored 43 points in the fourth quarter. So in the first half, I thought the way they were going at the drop coverage against the Bucks, it was a bit of a mixed bag. They did try some more Spain pick and roll, which resulted in, I want to say, at least one basket that I don't remember off the top of my head right now. And there was also a play where Tatum and Derek White ran a screen, and then Tatum flipped it to Marcus Smart, who threw a great bounce pass to Derek White in stride. So they were trying some different things out. But then I think in the fourth quarter, they just went to the Marcus Smart Tatum pick and roll, and they just got Tatum switched onto George Hill a couple times. He went at Wesley Matthews, I think, on an ISO as opposed to a screen, which resulted in him having that one acrobatic shot where he was falling down and he made it anyway. There was one of those drops against Brook where instead of going for the pull up, which Tatum was just, his pull ups have been uncomfortable in the series, he decided to back it out and take Brook to the perimeter with him, and then he got into a more comfortable shot for him, which is that step back, of course, or the side step, whatever you want to call it. One of the times against the drop, he just kept on going and got a foul out of Brook. So Tatum, he was a little more comfortable against the drop, but I mainly think he just kind of adjusted what he was doing with who he was screening for and then, not going to the immediate pull up. And actually, that led to one of Horford's threes in the corner where, again, it wasn't as much of a screen action at Brook Lopez. It was more so a, hey, Tatum, just be awesome, pretty much. And he was able to get by his guy, and then it was Horford in the corner. And again, I mean, Horford was Reggie Miller tonight. Marcus also found something where he could kind of bully Drew or Grayson Allen coming around screens in that fourth quarter with a couple of awkward looking turnarounds, and I don't know what the percentage on those would be, but hey, they went in tonight. So some unexpected hot shooting on top of making some real adjustments against that drop coverage. And when I say it was Brook in the drop, Giannis was also dropping a lot as well. As for the Bucks offense, where it seemed like Giannis was going to carry him just through that third quarter, I mean, there were definitely the moments of Giannis getting the switch he wanted, whether that was him screening or him just getting a screen from somebody. It seems like at this point, that's just how the Celtics are going to play this. They're not going to try to go under the screen. They're not going to try to hedge and get the original guy back to him. They're just going to switch. And yeah, sometimes it's going to look bad, but the other thing is they're not as aggressive with the help as they were in that first game. And suddenly it's tougher for these other guys to get going, especially if Drew has an off night, and he was 5 for 22 in this game, and I'd have to look at his misses. But I know that Derek White contested him at the rim really well a few times. Besides the times when Giannis is going off, you really do feel just the loss of Middleton in these games where, for some of these possessions, the Bucks are grinding to get anything if it's not Giannis being Giannis. Like in the fourth quarter, there was a play where the Celtics actually gave him something where they ran an action with Pat Connaughton and Drew, basically just a screen on the elbow that they did not switch. So then they had to close out to Connaughton, and Connaughton actually made it at the top of the key. Then there was another one where Drew, he had to bust out this spin move over or through, I want to say it was around like Derek White or whatever. And then he kicks it to Grayson Allen, and Grayson Allen had a little bit of daylight. He got a three off. But it's like, it's these actions that are just so difficult to do possession after possession. And then I remember with a minute and a half left, right before Jalen got fouled by Giannis and then got mad at him because he was grabbing him on the neck, it ended up in Wesley Matthews' hands with like 15 seconds left on the clock. He took it himself because he had just a little bit of a driving lane, and he didn't make it because it's Wesley Matthews at age like 34. And it's just like, man, they really could use Middleton right now. And with that said, they were definitely in position to win this thing. If it wasn't for Horford going crazy, they may have still done it, and I still think we're going 7 games. So that's that. But, if you follow the adjustments of this series, right, first 2 games, Bucks playing aggressively on Tatum, they figure it out in game 2, swing offense, all that. Game 3, they're dropping. Suddenly, Tatum's very uncomfortable going for pull-ups. Game 4, eventually in like the fourth quarter, they just went away from trying to attack the drop with Tatum. At least that's what I thought. More ISOs, more him screening on the ball. And then, well, there you go. Now, what is the adjustment on the other side of things for the Bucks? Don't know, but that's the beauty of the playoffs.